Fear of death. King Milinda said, revered Nagasena, this too was said by the Blessed One. All beings tremble at punishment, all fear death. But again he said, an Arahat has passed beyond all fear. How then, revered Nagasena, does an Arahat tremble with fear at punishment? Or are the beings who are being burnt and scorched in hell afraid of that death which would release them from that awful place of woe? If the Blessed One said that all beings tremble at punishment and all are afraid of death, then the statement that the Arahat has passed beyond all fear must be false. But if the last statement was really spoken by him, then the other must be false. This too is a double-pronged question. It is put to you. It is for you to solve. Sire, it was not with regard to Arahats that the Blessed One spoke when he said, all beings tremble at punishment, all fear death. The Arahat is an exception to this statement, for all cause for fear has been removed from the Arahat. It was with regard to those beings, sire, who still have defilements and who are still infatuated with the view of self and who are lifted up and cast down by pleasures and pains that the Blessed One made that statement. All bones have been cut off by the Arahat. All modes of arising extinguished, rebirth destroyed, the snares abolished, delight in all becomings has been rooted out. All formations have been extirpated. The wholesome and the unwholesome have been ended. Ignorance has been demolished. Consciousness has been made seedless. All the defilements have been burnt up, and worldly things have been conquered by him. Therefore an Arahat does not tremble at any fear. Suppose, sire, a king had 4 chief ministers, faithful, famous, trustworthy, and placed in positions of high authority, and that when some business had arisen, the king should have a command issued touching all the people in his realm, to the effect, let everyone pay me tax, and do you, my 4 chief ministers, carry out that business. Now, sire, would any tremor due to the fear of taxation arise in those 4 chief ministers? No, revered sir. For that reason, sire, because the king has placed them in the highest positions, taxation does not affect them. They are beyond taxation. When the king commanded everyone to pay him tax, he was referring to the rest of his subjects. Even so, sire, the statement that all beings tremble at punishment, all fear death, does not apply to the Arahats. Let it be, revered Nagasena, I accept it as you say. The Arahat is an exception to the statement. All other beings are full of fear, but those beings who are suffering painful, sharp and severe agonies in hell, who are tormented with burnings all over their bodies and limbs, who are full of lamentation and cries for pity, who find no protection or refuge or help, who are afflicted beyond measure, who in the worst and the lowest conditions are still destined to further pain, can these poor burning wretches be afraid of death? Yes, they can, but revered Nagasena, is not hell a place of certain pain? So why should beings in hell be afraid of death, which should release them from that certain pain? What are they fond of? Are they fond of hell? No, indeed, they do not like it. They long to be released from it. That, sire, is the power of death, because of which terror arises in them. This I do not believe, revered Nagasena, that terror of death arises in those who want to be released. They must rejoice at the prospect of the very condition they long for. Convince me by reason. Death, sire, is a cause for fear for those who have not seen the 4 noble truths. Whoever fears a black snake or an elephant or a lion or a hyena or a wild buffalo or fire or water while fearing any of these is fearing death. This, sire, is the majesty of the essential nature of death, because of which all beings who still have defilements tremble at death and fear it. It is in this sense that even beings in hell who long to be released from it are afraid of death. Suppose, sire, a boil were to arise full of pus on the man's body, and he in pain from that disease, and wanting to escape from the danger of it, were to call in a surgeon, and the surgeon, accepting the call, were to have a lancet sharpened, have sticks to be used as cauterizers, put in the fire, and have lye and salt ground together on the grindstone. Would not fright arise in that afflicted man, sire, with the cutting of the sharp lancet, the burning of the caustic sticks, and the application of the lye and salt? Yes, revered sir, if the sick man who wants to be free from his ailment can be afraid of pain, just so can beings in hell, though they long to be released from it, be afraid of death. It is good, revered Nagasena, thus it is, and I accept it as you say.